In this lesson, we're going to talk briefly about the resources we've used throughout this course. So essentially, we're just going to take a quick look at how we've used resources and talk about the resources that we've built and how that's going to work together throughout the course. And then we're going to talk quickly about a couple of different strategies for success throughout the course using the resources. So with the resources, we've started small. As we first grow, we'll continue to build on a system throughout the entire course. So you'll want to make sure to watch the videos in order, especially the video on the WAR or Web Archive file creation. Because once we start doing WAR files, everything from that point will be easily imported or exported from our Eclipse environment into this WAR file or from this WAR file. So what you can do is then just load the appropriate WAR file for the lesson to review the code. Now sometimes the WAR file will go across multiple lessons, but most of the time there'll be a separate WAR file for each lesson. And in fact, in some cases, there may be a starter and an ending WAR file so that you could actually work through some of the code on your own as well. And the next thing I'd like to do is just talk quickly about some strategies. So when you get the project up and running, go ahead and load it into Eclipse and take a moment to review the code so you're familiar with what's going on. And we'll review a lot of it as we go through the actual lesson. So you'll want to watch along with the lesson and review the code, but make sure that you're familiarizing yourself with the project throughout. Now we're going to be using the same project for the whole course. So as it builds, it will become much bigger and we'll actually do some things and then take them back out and put in some better solutions along the way as well. So the more familiar you are with the code, the easier it will be to understand the material. The other thing I suggest you do is make some changes, such as adding some features or removing features or trying to add your own servlets along the way or your own pages, changing around some of the different ways things are displayed. Now that practice will give you the ability to start experimenting and seeing what you can and can't do. And also, as long as you already have the original WAR file, you can continue to reload that original file and not worry about if you've broken something. So it's a good way to practice. I would also suggest starting from scratch, trying to build a system on your own so that you can see how you might go about actually creating the projects yourself and get used to doing that, and then only use the files as a reference at that point. You can also look at ways that you could try to make our system better. There are certainly ways you could do that. So just remember, check the resources for each module or each lesson. Make sure that you have the resources available for the video. Get them loaded into Eclipse. Follow along with the video as we go through the code, as we make changes. Make your own changes. Work through the solutions with me. See if you can't figure out ways to make the changes on your own or implement some new features just to continue practicing your skills as we grow throughout the course.